Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we are back with a Varus updated complete guide for patch 6.0a and onwards. So before we really get into it, of course don't forget to check out Varus's basic guide. I'll put up in the cards above for his skills, different order tips and tricks, as well as a couple of combos. But with all that said, let's jump straight into it. Now, personally, I think that the on-hit build on Varus is pretty much the best now, especially since we're in a meta where after the durability update, tanks are very popular, and you need an ADC to be able to kind of get rid of the tanks. Now, looking at the top players, a couple of AP builds are pretty popular. I'm gonna cover that one real soon as well. And also we have, of course, a standard ER into try build, and then 3 other items at the back. I'm going to cover that one eventually as well. I think that build is really good as well, but personally, I still think that the on-hit build is the best. So what is the on-hit build? Where we start with the Gluttonous Greaves for AD and Omnivamp, can swap it to defensive boots later on. Then first item, you go for Terminus. Decent, first item. You get a little bit of AD attack speed, magic damage on hit, as well as the stacking resistances and stacking penetrations. Very, very strong, first item. And also basically gets you armor pen right at the very beginning of the game, right? So the tanks are going to be lesser of an issue when they start to get more tanky. And then to help you out even more, you have Bork. Now Bork, of course, gives you current health on hit damage, which again helps you a lot against those tanks. More AD, more attack speed, physical vamp for your sustain, as well as the Dream passive, really helpful in the earlier stages of the game. So Runans helps you to attack 3 people at the same time. Now this is useful in 2 instances. Number 1, when you have like 2 to 3 tanks in the front line that you gotta shred. Number 2, just applying your passive onto 3 people, whether they're tanks or not, is always going to be helpful. Of course, other than that, it also gives you attack speed, a little bit of AD, as well as some on-hit physical damage. And then at this point, this is where the Riftmaker comes in. Now, Riftmaker is just a very strong item on Varus in general, mainly because of the 2 passives. Firstly, you get the 11% Omnivamp, so more sustain always going to be helpful. And the Void Corruption, of course, just getting yourself true damage is always going to be good, whether be it against squishies or tanks. And then the stat line is just pretty solid. In general, a little bit of health, a little bit of AP, etc. And then by this point, you have more than enough damage, so you can go for a defensive option as your last item. Now here, I actually normally like to actually go Twin Guard. I think Twin Guard is a really solid item on Varus, gives you both defensive stats. But of course, you can also adapt this based on what you need. You can go for like a GA, you can go for a Maw, a Sterex, kind of depending on the situation. Wits and works here as well. So you can kind of just adapt the build to the situation. But other than that, we have the runes. Of course, runes, we're going to go for Lethal Tempo for the attack speed and the attack range. Brutal, of course, because you auto-attack a ton as an ADC. Giant Slayer, again, to work against those tanks. Alacrity for even more attack speed. You could go for the Omnivamp as well, Bloodline, but it's kind of up to you. And we have Bone Plating for the defensive capabilities. Now, for the spells, I like to take Flash together with Ghost. Now, Ghost is my default option. Of course, if I really need to, I can take something like Exhaust, Cleanse, or Barrier. Once again, I will refer you to the ADC spells video that I put up in the cards above now, if you want a more in-depth explanation on what spells to go for on ADCs. With all that said, let's now move on to talking about the gameplay. Alright, so here we have the gameplay. Of course, as usual, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Any questions, queries, or remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and of course be sure to address them or drop a like. So, Varus, as I said, I think the on-hit build is the best build for Varus right now, especially in the tank meta. You can see on the enemy team there's a Set, there is a Swain, there is a Olaf, all of which are generally not full tanks, but very tanky chaps. Right, so I think Varus is still probably the best ADC. I will be doing a tier list really soon, and I think that the tier list has a ton of changes, so I might make like a very long one where I literally explain every single champion on the tier list, or I might do like a shorter one, because I haven't done the long version tier list in a very long while, so I was thinking maybe now is the time to do the long version, like the 1 hour version, of the tier list. I haven't done that one, I think, in over a year at this point. So yeah. So here, we're up against a Vayne Lulu lane. Now, of course, Vayne Lulu lane is very, very strong. Not Vayne Lulu, Jinx Lulu lane, sorry. Of course, this lane is very, very strong. in the later stages of the game. However, in the early game, they are just alright. You can see here that we almost killed Lulu, and now we almost killed Jinx, and Jinx pops the barrier, which causes me to kind of get baited in a little bit, and I do end up dying. However, Vi is able to trade the kill onto the Lulu. So not really the best start. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot that Jinx had barrier there. I kind of got baited in, and this is kind of why in my ADC spells video, I kind of say that barrier is a very strong early game spell, mostly because in the early game, barrier, the shield is really significant. It can block like 2 to 3 auto attacks at least, and that is normally the determining factor in a fight, which is exactly kind of what happened here, where number one, it blocked like 2 to 3 of my auto attacks, and number two, it baited me in because I thought I could get the kill, or at worst trade 1-for-1, right? But I didn't realize that she had barrier, and that of course made me miscalculate my damage, and I ended up dying instead. So this is one of those kind of not telltale, but classic barrier situations. This Lulu, by the way, is playing super duper aggressive. We're able to take her out, mostly just because she's like really overextending and just getting rooted by Morgana. So we are now in a pretty okay spot. I mean, we don't have any kills yet, but we are able to have 2 assists. We're on par kind of with the Jinx. And of course, the kind of issue with Jinx Lulu is that when they hit mid game, and like when Jinx has like 2 to 3 items and Lulu has like at least like her Ardent Sensor or like maybe 2 items, they become really really strong, because Lulu of course kind of makes Jinx unkillable, and that basically means that it's gonna be Jinx is gonna be able to output a lot of damage. Speaking of outputting damage, I'm here trying to get rid of the Jinx. Morgana picks up another kill. Now I'm going on to the Lulu. I really want to get rid of the Lulu, and we do. We get the Ghost reset, and we're running away from the Olaf. Black Shield comes in from Morgana to prevent me from getting slowed down, and both myself and Morgana are able to escape from the Olaf. I'm just getting a little bit more damage on the Olaf just for a little bit of a chunk. And then we are going to bat. Olaf, you can see, is about 1/4 HP, just picks up the fruit there. So yeah. So pretty surprising that we were able to escape from the Olaf. Black Shield definitely saved my life there from the slow, both from the Chilling Smite as well as from Olaf's Undertow. And also we were able to get a 2v2 kill. Now the main unfortunate thing is how Morgana's kind of collecting all the kills, so I kind of have less gold than my support at the moment. But of course, the fact that we're killing them is always going to be good news, so we're not going to complain too much. Here Lulu comes in with the Polymorph. The root, unfortunately, this time hits the minion. But we're still able to carry out a decent trade against Jinx, right? Jinx loses about 1/3 of her HP. And you can see Heartsteel being completed on both Swain and Set at this point in time. So the Bork we're going to pick up, second item, is going to come in very, very handy against these 2 health stackers. Now here Jinx gets caught. We one-shot her pretty much, and Olaf is now coming in. Not able to refresh his ultimate. I'm trying to trade onto Lulu. It doesn't really work out. Now I'm hitting Olaf. Lulu's trying to help him get out. Unfortunately, the arrow hits absolutely nobody. Neither the Olaf nor the Lulu. Both of them sidestep to either direction of the arrow. And here the first dragon is about to spawn, so I'm going to have to quickly clear out this wave and either get a reset or rotate over to the dragon. Now here, for some reason, Lulu has not yet reset, so here I'm being a little bit greedy. I'm getting a plate. Can't really complete the Terminus yet, which is kind of why I'm not immediately resetting. Now the dragon has come up. Our Vi is in the area, probably going to do the dragon. Don't think she's coming for a gank, because we're kind of shoving them in. So yeah, here we go. We're going to go to the dragon. Olaf is in the mid lane, making his way towards the dragon, I believe. But we're going to be able to pick it up before they arrive. And here I really need to reset. I'm just going to reset because I have absolutely no mana. I have 0 mana. I can't cast any of my spells. So, yeah, no real reason for me to stick around. Thankfully, my team is able to disengage, and Vi is now going for the Herald. A mini fight looks like it's about to break out in the Dragon Pit area, but everybody kind of disengages, nothing really to fight over, and Vi is now working on the Herald. Olaf, of course, is going to be a little bit delayed because we just saw him at the Dragon Pit area, so probably Vi is going to get it uncontested. Or, yeah, there we go, so she gets it uncontested. We're able to shove in another wave. Still no Terminus completion. Trying to get another plate here. We are able to force another plate. And yeah, so Jinx Lulu has taken a couple of deaths at this point, so they're not really in a very good spot at the moment. We are definitely able to kill them, and kind of this is kind of the thing, right? If all they need to do is kind of not get killed, because if they get killed a couple of times, we kind of have enough gold to sort of you know, get the damage to kill them. Whereas if they are just even, or like they die maybe like once, we are still gonna be fine, in a sense that we can kill them, they can scale into the mid and late game, and they can probably just take over the game at that point. But now we're kind of far ahead enough that we can actually look for kills, and it's never really good news if your Jinx, Lulu, and the enemy bot lane can kill you, you know, relatively easily. That is not good news whatsoever. So they kind of have to play very, very carefully because of that. Of course, it's still not easy to kill, because Lulu, of course, has shields and heals, and it's going to be really difficult to really you know, really capitalize very easily. But of course, we are going to be able to find those opportunities because we do have enough damage. Now in this game, you know, we are building kind of on hit, which is really good against tanks. We haven't really encountered Swain or Set yet. Olaf, of course, is not really even that tanky. He has not even completed his first item, Triforce, so he is, you know, still pretty squishy, you know, if I do say so myself. However, of course, we're going to be ready with our anti-tank items when we get to it. Here, Lulu is getting caught. Olaf now in the back line. Now here I'm trying to take down the tower, but my team is busy fighting over in the back line. I'm going to quickly get rid of Lulu, and then get rid of the Jinx as well. Olaf is running for the hills. We're not going to chase. Now I'm not sure why Sway decided to come here. He gets rooted by Morgana, gets chain CC'd by Vi. He's now stuck in a 1v3, pops the ulti, but doesn't really matter. And he ends up going down. Like, that was really weird, because Swain just saw two of his teammates die. He saw Olaf running away, and he still took the Hex Gate there. So this is one of those classic cases where the Hex Gate can actually bait you to go into a bad position. Like, if there are enemies there, you cannot take the Hex Gate. I think that I assumed that by the time it was in the patch, like in the previous patch, I thought people would kind of know that by now, but apparently that's not the case, because you just saw Swain commit that basic mistake, you know, taking Hex Gate. I mean, I myself have committed that mistake, and you know, a couple of times, probably will sooner or later in one of my games, but these mistakes definitely are not very common to occur. And here I now have enough for the Borg. So here I'm backing, I pick up the Borg, you know, first two items completed, and now I'm feeling really strong. I'm almost an entire item up on the Jinx at this point. And with the Borg in hand, and with the Terminus as well, I'm pretty well equipped to deal with both Swain and Set, and we definitely don't mind fighting them. Of course, when we get to Runas, it's going to be even better, being able to hit like both Swain and Set at the same time, assuming that they're of course in the same fight. Now you can see here I'm just hitting him. Olaf is now hitting me. Unfortunately, he goes unstoppable, eats my arrow but survives on 1 HP. Of course, if he didn't have ult there, he was dead 100%. But unfortunately, he was able to scamper away with the help of his CC immunity. So here at this point, my team is really far ahead of the enemy team. We're 10k gold up, so we're literally just shoving them in on like 2 lanes without even having like a Baron or anything like that. But of course, we do have to play cautiously. We can't overextend, and that's kind of exactly what is happening here. Jinx does die though. Apply the anti-heal onto the Swain. I'm just stacking my Lethal Tempo on him. I'm trying to get rid of him. There we go. He goes down. Set is going to be the next target. He already used W, so it's pretty safe. He goes down. Now I'm trying to kill either Olaf or Lulu. Olaf has ult again, and we're not able to get either Olaf or Lulu. However, during this time, Vi is able to actually pick up the dragon, and here I'm just working on the top lane inhibitor. Getting an inhibitor at 10 minutes is pretty huge, but it may not necessarily always be a good thing. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes if you get inhibitor too early and the enemy team is able to just farm the super minions, they're actually going to get more gold, right? Because technically, super minions give you 120 gold, which is double the gold of a cannon minion. I think cannon minion is like 60 to 65. I think it's 65 gold. Actually, we'll find out right here. Yep, 65 gold. So it's almost double of the cannon minion, and that's a lot of extra gold. So if you're able to consistently farm the super minions, you're actually gonna get more gold. So by taking down inhibitor tower, you can actually generate more gold for the enemy team. But of course, this also creates a lot of pressure because super minions are really tanky and you know they will push in waves. So here I thought Vi wanted to hardcore engage onto Swain, which is why I popped the ghost here, but she ends up not ulting Swain. I don't really blame her for not ulting Swain because Swain is not really a valuable target, right? But I did kind of waste my cooldown. I mean, I guess really the only valuable target is like Jinx, maybe even Lulu, because like Lulu can keep people alive. Now Set is, Set is getting badly caught out. However, there is really nothing to do here because this tower is already being taken. A fight looks like it's gonna break out, however, so I'm just being with my team to make sure that I'm there for the damage. Baron is gonna be coming up really soon. It is right here. We're near the pit, and here we're just continuing to just push in waves and to farm. Of course, getting mid lane priority before Baron is pretty important. And of course, we can start off Baron right away with the insane lead that we have against the enemy team. Control ward comes down, no enemy wards here. They probably don't even know that we're doing it. And this polymorph uh, thing from the Baron is really, really irritating. I hate that attack, but yeah, we are able to get the Baron. And here I'm very close to getting Runan, so all I need to do is like farm like maybe a camp or two, and then I'm gonna have enough for Runans. Yep, I think I have enough right now, so I'm just going to back and wait a couple of seconds for enough gold. There we go, we complete the Runans. And we're now ready. We have Baron, we have our 3-item power spike, and we're ready to rock and roll. So here, unfortunately, Teemo is kind of getting caught out a little bit. I'm just here to escort him out. I don't really want to fight here. But yeah, I'm just here to kind of escort him out. He's able to escape pretty freely, but the issue with that is the enemy team kind of committed heavily into the Baron River area, and they are leaving their mid lane undefended. So me and Echo are quickly ready to just take advantage of that and get rid of the mid lane tower. Another inhibitor goes down. Set is trying to come in and engage on us. However, I'm able to space him pretty well. I do take the center true damage part of his W, but it doesn't actually end up doing too much damage. I'm able to hit the Swain and the Lulu at the same time. Here I pick up a triple because Lulu was killed by Echo, and only Olaf is left, so the game is pretty much won at this point. Olaf trying to stop us. I have to kind of flash away. He does do a lot of damage here, and we're gonna get rid of him as well. And here we're gonna get the win. So I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.
Victory!